Hi everyone. For a while now, we are in this in between phase, in between energy. There is definitely a closure of the old. You might notice that you cannot go back to your old loops that used to give you a sense of familiarity, a sense of control, a sense of safety. That's gone. But we're also not yet in this new way of being. We're still in the universal soup of Pisces that is disintegrating and dissolving. We're still dissolving and undoing ourselves. And that can make a lot of us uncertain, not knowing where to stand, because the ego really likes a projection, it likes a goal, it likes knowingness, it likes direction. And actually, what this time frame is inviting us into is, if we are daring to embrace this uncertainty, we actually are so connected with life, because if you dare to live in uncertainty, that is the space where life breathes. Life doesn't breathe in cognitive, mental boxes, truths, projections, um, ambitions. Life breathes in the unknown, because presence, as a lot of you guys know, you already for quite some time on this path of awakening. Presence is not being, it doesn't let itself to be defined. So daring to sink into the unknown and surrender to the unknown is what this time frame is inviting us to do. And then it becomes really interesting in what is standing in between life and you. What is there that you still put in between? Or are you able to embrace the unknown, the the vastness of uh, the great divine ocean? This time frame is really showing us in what degree we are still um, having power struggles of control, of um, needing certain things to be there in your life, needing certain structures to be there in your life. Or are you experiencing this time frame, you're really coming home? Dot. You're really coming home. The moment you try to force movements, force what in your mind is being perceived as progression, force, um, form, we are not letting life breathe. We're still in that survival mechanism. And I know sometimes it can be a challenge because a lot of you guys who are watching my channel are people who are, uh, say it forced or not forced, to go on a long retreat with the self, to go on the journey of solitude. And sometimes it can become very still because the distance is becoming more obvious, the distance of this resonance between you and the environment you live in, the people you meet. You're lucky if there are some people that can really resonate with the journey you're on. Most of us are not so fortunate. So this is not an easy time frame. It is a mirror 24/7, and the only person that we see is the self, ourself. But I sense so strongly that this time frame is so important in order to go forward in your life. We need to start rooting deep down in the earth. We need to build on the fundament of beingness and not building on false fundaments anymore, a fundament that has been derived from outside influences, whether it be money, whether it be career, whether it be friends, whether it be love, a relationship. We need to go into this radical acceptance of the self. That's what we're in right now. There is no numbing, there is no checking out. There is a real reflection, because if the ocean is silent and it's easy, there is no storm, there are no waves. It reflects so perfectly what you are. And we have been used to, in the past, to stir up on the surface, to make chaos, to make waves, to make it so we don't have to look at ourselves so clearly. And that is a choice. It's a choice that every soul at this moment is about to make. Are you grabbing back to the known and keep on looping in the same kind of loops you have been for the past years? Or are you daring to step into the unknown? And that also means that sometimes that maybe you don't know what to do with yourself. Sometimes I have that too. There is so much being stripped from me, structures, habits, thought patterns, ways of perceiving life, ways of doing, and sometimes I don't even know. And it's okay to say to yourself, I don't know. I don't know how to get through the next afternoon, or I don't know how to fill in the day, or it's normal when we have gone through so much stripping away and dissolving. It's only natural that in this moment we're really in this in between, in this uncertainty, and it feels like we're on this boat without a sail, and it's just there on the ocean without any direction. There's just everywhere you turn and see, there's just this vast ocean of divinity, of allness, of oneness, asking of us to heal, to dissolve, to undo, to surrender, to surrender, to surrender. And if you want to push this process, and you're starting to paddle with your arms because you decide that you want to move somewhere, you're going to get exhausted. This is not the time frame to force yourself or to make things happen in a very unnatural way. And it helps a lot in this time frame whenever the mind starts picking up that control, that searching, that um, power struggle. You feel a power struggle going on inside of you, or maybe even outside of you. You're projecting things on other situations or people. Fall back into your body and into slowness and meditate. If you listen closely, the heart is speaking to us on such a profound and deep way. I sense every time I linger off a bit, it starts aching. It's asking me to come back heart in my heart centeredness, and to keep on perceiving from here, nowhere else. Keep on perceiving from here. And it takes a lot of humility. This time frame is taking a lot of humility. It's not a good time frame for the ego. It doesn't thrive. It's not a time for the ego to thrive. No. That time will come within a few months. We will start picking up things more. It will start to get more clearer, but don't white knuckle yourself through this phase and sit it out until there's movement, because there is so much wisdom to be absorbed out of this time frame. And is it easy? No, hell no, it's not easy. And I sense a lot of you guys at the moment are, because of this uncertainty, starting to ask questions. Why me? Why this? And try to inquire why the question, not inquire what is the answer, but why the question. And you will see that almost every question comes forward out of resistance, out of non-acceptance of the here and now. And as always, I'd love to hear from you guys how you are perceiving this in between phase we are in, um, how you handle uncertainty in life. Um, it's so important in this time frame since we are detaching from so much and there's so little connection in our own living environment that we can connect in this community and we can talk about the things we struggle with and because that's human. It's not natural to only do this on your own and from the inside. Sometimes it's really helpful just to vent and to speak out what's on your chest or in your body or in your mind. Much love.